Number 19, which net can be folded into a hexagonal prism? I look at the nets that are given. They each have the correct base, which is a hexagon. And then they each have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. And same here, same here. They have 6 rectangles that are attached to the 2 hexagons. Now, when I think of a prism, I need to see that in 3D, okay, the base shape, the hexagon, is extended out from one end to the other. Okay, so forgive the drawing, it's kind of sloppy, but idea is the base in the front is extended to the back, and what connects them is these rectangles here. So if you look at it, the rectangles have to be attached from corner to corner on each side of the hexagon. So I imagine this net I have already drawn here with the hexagon in the middle, okay, and the rectangles attached from corner to corner, corner to corner, corner to corner to each side of the hexagon. Now if I look at the nets in here, I'm going to say B is one that I can eliminate because I look closely, it's only attached from one corner to the side of the hexagon, the rectangle that is. So this one is not connected all the way to the hexagon. Now if I look at A, okay, this is connected corner to corner, corner to corner, and then when I fold these, they will connect corner to corner, corner to corner, corner to corner. Okay, so this one looks pretty good so far. And how this one is different than this one down here is when you connect this rectangle, it won't fit nicely here. But this one, even though the corner is off, when you fold it over, it will connect nicely. Okay, if I look at this one, see, here's a problem right here. These rectangles are supposed to connect to the hexagon sides, and then they will connect to the other hexagon as well. But here they have 2 rectangles in a row, so this one would connect here, but this one, I don't know where it would go. It would just hang off, so that one's not it. And over here, see how the hexagons are far apart because they have to be from, look at my 3D figure, one end and the other end. They can't be stuck together. The hexagons can't. So this one is not it because the hexagons are stuck together, and when you fold them, they will still be stuck together. They need to be separated a little bit. So C is eliminated, D is eliminated, B is eliminated. That means the best choice is A. Number 20. A total of 40 people made cakes for the bake sale. Each person made 3 cakes. 15% of these cakes were chocolate. How many chocolate cakes? Okay, first step, find total number of cakes. 40 times 3, because each of the 40 people made 3 cakes. I'm going to do 40 times 3, and I'll get 120. Okay, then of those 120, 15% were chocolate. So I'm going to multiply 120 times 0.15. Notice how I changed 15% to a decimal. 5 times 0 is 2. Then I add. I have 2 numbers after the decimal. I need 2 numbers after the decimal. That's 18 made chocolate cake. 18 people made chocolate cake. And that is answer choice H. Number 21. The list shows Wendy's bowling scores in her last 5 games. Which measure best describes how much these bowling scores varied? So, when it's asking for how much they varied, it looks for what's the lowest end of the scale and what's the highest end of the scale. And that's, the lowest end is 112 is the lowest, and the highest is 159. To find out how much they varied, just subtract 112 from 159 and you will be finding the range. Okay, the range is how much the scores varied. Number 22, use the ruler provided to measure to the nearest centimeter. Which of the following is closest to the area of the shaded rectangles? Just take the ruler that's given in the reference chart that comes with the test. Measure each of the sides. This is a 2 by 2 centimeter square, so 2 times 2 is 4. Each of these squares is the same. They have a 4 centimeter squared shaded area here, 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 and here. That's 4 of them times 4, which is 16. Now in the middle, this is a 3 by 3 square, so multiply 3 times 3 to get 9. Add 16 plus 9, that's 25 centimeters squared, which is F. Now number 23, what is the value of the expression shown below? Just work it out and using the correct order of operations. I'm going to write it over here. And the correct thing to do first is exponents. 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Then I go back and do the next operations. Division and multiplication come first. I divide because it's going left to right. This one comes first. 96 divided by 3 is 32. Then I can multiply 32 times 8. 32 times 8, I'll do it over here. $256, I bring that down. Then lastly, I add 12 and 256, I get 268. And I look at my answers. That is C. Okay, the vertices of a triangle for number 24 are given here. It says which grid represents the result of reflecting the triangle across the x-axis. Well, what you need to know is first, where would this triangle be? I look at the coordinates. They each have a negative number for the x and a positive number for the y. That means on a grid it would be in quadrant 2 over here, where the x's are negative, y's are positive. Your triangle will be somewhere here. And if you're going to reflect it across the x-axis, that means it's going to flip over this line right here, the x-axis. It's going to flip over the x-axis. So if it was up here, it would flip over and land down here. So this one is possible. Let's look at H. This one, it didn't move anywhere. As a matter of fact, it's not in the correct quadrant, so it didn't flip over at all. C, or G rather, it flipped, but it went over the y-axis over here, so that's not it. And J, okay, it went over the x and the y-axis to land over here. It should land over here, not over here. This is off. That means the best answer is F. And just to be sure, I'll pick one of the points. Let's do -4, 1. Okay, if I went over here, -4, and go up 1, the point would be there. When I reflect it across, it's now over here. -4, -1. See, it was up here, now it's down here. It's reflected across the x-axis. F is correct answer. Number 25. He has 5 1/4 pounds of dry food. He'll put equal amount into 3 containers. How much fish food is in each container? Okay, he's splitting it. That means divide. Take 5 1/4 and divide by 3. Okay, to make this work out, I can either change this to a decimal and divide, or I can make this into an improper fraction by doing 4 times 5 plus 1. That's 21, and keep the same denominator, 4, and divide. I'm going to change 3 to 3 over 1. It's still 3, but now it's a fraction. To divide fractions, you flip the second fraction over, and then you multiply. 21 times 1, 4 times 3, so that's 21 over 12. I'm going to do 21 divided by 12. It can go into 12 one time with the remainder of 9, so that's more than 9 over 12. I'm going to simplify 9 over 12 by dividing by 3. That will be 1 and 3 over 4, which is answer choice B. Number 27, it's a chart that says points scored by Lillian and Naomi in 1, 2, 3, 4 games. It's a bar graph, so that means the top of each bar can be traced over to this axis right here to find out the score or the points. So it says which statement is best supported by the information. These type of questions, I would have to look through each answer one by one and decide if it's a true or a false answer. In this case, I'm looking for the true answer. So I'm going to go look at number 1 first. Game 1, number of points, Lillian was more than half number of points Naomi. Okay, Lillian is 2 times half of Naomi. So let's see, Lillian, the gray, is 12. And let's see, Naomi is just past 20, but not to 24, so it's in between. It's 22. Naomi is 22, and the statement says Lillian was more than half the number of points scored by Naomi. So half of Naomi's, half of 22 is 11. Lillian's is 12, which is more than half of Naomi. So A is a true statement. B, just to be sure, I'll check. The total number of points scored by Lillian and Naomi in Game 4 was more than the points scored by Lillian in Game 2. Okay, so Lillian Game 2 over here was 24. So it has to be more than 24. In Game 4, their combined total was 8 plus 14, which is 22. 22 is not more than 24, so that statement is not true. Statement C. Game 4, number of points scored by Naomi was 2 times the number of points scored by Lillian. Okay, go to Game 4. Lillian's was 8, Naomi was 14. 14 is not 2 times 8. It is not 2 times 8. So C is not correct. D. Total number of points scored by Lillian and Naomi in Game 3 was 7 times points scored by Lillian in Game 2. So let's see, combined of Game 3 was 12 plus 16, which is 28. 28, let's see, Lillian's in Game 2 was 24. Okay, so if I did 24 times 7, that would not be 28, which means D is not correct. That means A is the correct statement because it says half of Naomi, okay, which is half of 22, which is 11. Lillian should score more than that, more than half, or more than twice half of, more than half of 22. 12 is more than half of 22. A is the correct answer. Number 28. It has a wedge right there. It's a triangular prism. It says the volume formula is there. Which equation can be used to find the area of the shaded base? Okay, so the shaded base is a triangle. To find the area of a triangle, you use the formula. You can check in your formula chart just to be sure. It should be 1/2 base times height. Okay, always look for the right angle in a triangle first to see if you can identify the base and the height. They should be right next to the right angle, 5 and 6. So I do 1/2 5 times 6. 1/2 5 times 6. So these are wrong, obviously, and that means the best answer is G because it's 1/2 5 times 6. Yes, I said 1/2, but this is divided by 2. They're the same thing. So G is the best answer.